All right, it's finally here. The most anticipated earnings report of the year has dropped. And today, we are going to unpack exactly what NVIDIA's absolutely blockbuster numbers tell us about the future of this AI revolution.
You know, for weeks now, there's been this one big question hanging over the entire market. After a whole year of just explosive AI growth, everyone was wondering, is this it? Is the boom about to hit a brick wall?
Well, last night we got our answer. And let me tell you, it wasn't just a simple no. Oh no, it was a definitive, market-shaking, record-shattering no. NVIDIA didn't just meet expectations, they completely obliterated them.
Okay, so let's dive right into the specifics of just how massive this quarter really was. I mean, the headline numbers alone, they're pretty staggering.
Okay, so for the fourth quarter, get this. The company pulled in a staggering $22.1 billion in revenue. Just to put that into perspective for you, that single quarter is more than a lot of big established companies make in an entire year. It's just incredible.
And just look at this gap here between what was expected and what actually happened. Wall Street was thinking, maybe $20.4 billion. NVIDIA didn't just beat that, they smashed it by over $1.7 billion. That's a nearly 9% surprise. In a market that gets excited about tiny beats, this was just a massive, massive statement.
But it's the sheer acceleration that's really the key here. I mean, revenue is up an unbelievable 265% from just a year ago. And even compared to their last monster quarter, it's up another 22%.
Oh, and their earnings per share?
Yeah, they completely demolished the estimates. But the real engine, the powerhouse behind all of this, is their data center division. It brought in a record $18.4 billion. Let me be really clear about this. That one single division, the part that makes the chips powering all this AI, made more money this quarter than the entire company did just 2 years ago. If you want to see the AI revolution in a single number, that's it right there.
Look, as absolutely jaw-dropping as those numbers are, they're really about the past 3 months. The real story, the thing that sent shockwaves through the entire market, well, that's all about what NVIDIA says is coming next.
Because, in the world of high-growth tech, you're only as good as your next move. The market had pretty much already priced in a great quarter. The big question was, is this party going to keep going?
And that, right there, brings us to the guidance, what they think they're going to earn in the next quarter. This single number, this one piece of info, this is what everyone was waiting for. This was the real test.
And here it is. NVIDIA is guiding for $24 billion in revenue for the current quarter. Just let that sink in for a second. $24 billion. This is the number that tells you the AI supercycle isn't just continuing, it's actually speeding up.
And to put that number into context for you, the most optimistic, pie-in-the-sky analysts were hoping for maybe $22 billion. NVIDIA came in $2 billion above even that. I mean, they didn't just clear the bar, they launched it straight into orbit.
CEO Jensen Huang basically explained why on the earnings call. He said customers are racing to invest in AI compute. And what that tells you is that this demand has gone completely mainstream. This is a full-blown corporate arms race now. And guess who's the world's #1 arms dealer? Yep, it's NVIDIA.
Okay, now let's zoom out a little bit. Because what made this incredible news even more impactful was this kind of surprising quirk in the economic calendar. It basically created a perfect, clear runway for NVIDIA to just take off.
So you had 2 really huge economic reports, the latest GDP numbers and the super important PCE inflation data that were supposed to come out this week. But because of some data collection issues, both of them got pushed back to the middle of March.
So what does that mean? Well, it means that right as this absolute bombshell of a report from NVIDIA dropped, the stage was totally clear. There were no other big inflation reports or GDP figures to create any fear or uncertainty in the background. The market got this really rare chance to just focus on and react to one single, massive, positive story. Now, while the NVIDIA story is obviously dominating everything right now, it is happening inside a bigger picture. Spending on AI infrastructure is clearly the main thing driving the market. But those broader economic risks, things like global tariffs, they haven't gone away. They're just kind of being ignored for the moment. And what's really interesting is that other risky assets like Bitcoin haven't really been swept up in this specific rally, which tells you that investors are laser-focused on this one AI story.
All right, so let's bring this all together. When you combine that record-breaking quarter, the absolutely astronomical guidance, and that clear economic runway, what's the ultimate takeaway here? What does this all mean? Well, it confirms that we are, without a doubt, in an AI supercycle. The best way to think about it is like a gold rush, right?
During a gold rush, the surest way to get rich wasn't digging for gold yourself, it was selling the picks and shovels to all the hopeful miners. And right now, pretty much every company on the planet is racing to mine for AI gold. And NVIDIA, they're selling the best picks and shovels in the world.
And that leads us to the final and most crucial point. The whole debate about whether this AI boom is for real, that seems to be over, at least for now. So the question is no longer, is it real? The question we should be asking ourselves today is something different.
And this right here is the ultimate takeaway. The question is not whether the spending on AI is real. We know it is. The real question is, what do you do with the reaction to it? The AI supercycle is officially here, and now everyone has to figure out what to do next.